This is the Bell ATV, and it's Bell's first initial excursion into vertical landing and takeoff aircraft. And in order to do this in an economical way, Bell actually utilized the parts of existing aircraft. You can see here the fuselage here of this airplane actually is a Schweitzer glider or sailplane fuselage. The wing is the main portion of a Cessna 170 wing, and the struts, as you see here, a high wing strutted airplane. And the landing gear is the spring steel type landing gear from also a Cessna 170. Now, the way this airplane is controlled about its axis, I mean, you have, when you control an airplane, up and down is pitch. When an airplane is roll when it rolls around its longitudinal axis, and the rudder and back on a normal airplane is direction or yaw. Now, in this particular airplane, since it's not going to fly at a fast enough speed in order to have aerodynamic control by using the ailerons for roll, the elevator for pitch, and the rudder for yaw, it uses compressed air. And you can see this airplane has two small jet engines on each side. And here's the one on the right side of the airplane. And as it tilts down, they work together on each side. It will, by tilting it down, it will go up. And then if you put in the horizontal, it goes straight forward and back.
And this is the pivot point right there.
Right, probably, exactly. Yeah. And you have the same thing on the other side. But then to get the air pressure to control this airplane, because you cannot use aerodynamic ailerons, elevators, or rudders, you have a compressor in the middle, which takes compressed air and connects it with nozzles where the control surfaces are. You can see the nozzle here going back that controls the yaw or the rudder and the elevator for pitch. And you see this duct here for the compressed air. And then through the wing, you'll see the outlet here for the nozzles. Now, the advantage of using compressed air for control is that if you are flying at a high speed on a modern airplane or an airplane of this type, you're able to control this airplane while it's basically standing still. But also, if you're flying in another airplane at a high speed, when you use the aerodynamic controls, you create drag and they make the airplane inefficient. So the new concept is a vehicle is now, a study is being made of instead of using aerodynamic controls, which will cause a drag coefficient every time you move them, you use the compressed air in order to replace the aerodynamic controls, which causes less aerodynamic drag, which is especially important in a high-speed airplane. And of course, very important in an airplane that's flying at no speed, where you don't have enough air on the aerodynamic controls to control the airplane. So this is another example where an airplane that was built in 1958 is using the control surface now, which is being again revived on a newer airplane many years later. Well, here we're talking about almost 50 years later.
And this is the new way that our Air Force in that area is becoming more efficient.
And how not only Air Force, but commercial aircraft.
Commercial aircraft as well. So what's old is new again.
That's right. So,
and this picture was taken in Buffalo?
Oh, yes. You can see the remains of the old Bell plant. I think this part's already been torn down.
That part in there, yeah. See the glare. And what are these markings on the front here? Are they like maybe not kills, but are they? You think? Are they like,
I don't know. I would imagine maybe they put a marker every time they flew the thing.
yeah, possibly. Yeah,
Could be.
experimental.
Experimental. Somebody got the idea every time we fly it, we'll put a marker every time we make a transition in it.
And this is a wing that's been cut and modified, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's shortened, but it still remains the original struts. Well, that doesn't look like the original struts, but they're placed where the struts would be. Yeah.
So, what aircraft is adopting this original technology today?
Well, it's this experimental airplane, which is a feature story in in the latest Aviation Week in Space magazine.
Gotcha. So people can look it up.
I'll show you a copy of it here. I got it in my briefcase.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Air and Space Weekly.